Alrighty, so welcome back to another random video of me sharing things that I learned while I try and build a big business. And today I want to talk about doing more for your customers, increasing LTV, increasing customer value, and essentially growing your business without attracting new customers. Now, obviously this is a very overlooked subject. This is a subject where I feel that I really excel and where my expertise. So everybody has their own field where they feel like they are good at sales, or they're good at marketing, or they're good at making offers, or they're good at that back-end service delivery automations. And I feel like my specialty, my innate feeling of expertise comes in customer value, customer lifetime, doing more for your customers, customer obsession, all those things of that nature. And so I wanted to share a very profound lesson that I learned after consuming hours and hours of content from different people talking about how to keep your customers, how to retain customers, how to make your customers worth more, from people like Jeff Bezos, Sam Evans, Alex Hormozi, you name it. And so one of the most, profound takeaways that I had was when Alex Hormozi talked to one of his podcasts, and he said, if you were right now to 10x your price, right? If you had to 10x, or heck, you could even say 3x, 4x, 5x your price today, what would you have to do in the back end to justify having that price change? So, for example, let's say if you currently sold a fitness program for $100 and you were now going to sell it for $1,000, what would you have to do to justify charging that much more? Well, you'd be like, man, I have to make a customized meal plan. I'd have to hold them accountable every day. I'd have to send them handwritten letters. I'd send them a swag bag. I'd do this, I'd do that, and list them out. List every single thing that you can think of. Start listing it out on a piece of paper. Literally get a piece of paper and start writing it out. Just go. Keep going. Write down every single thing that you would need to do to justify charging 10x what you currently charge. Then, what you do is look at all those things and go, which one of these have high impact, but cost me very little to fulfill and do, but could add value to my current customers at the current price point? And then what you do is you then go and build them and implement them into your business. Simple as that. And so I'm just reading my notes here. Basically, it says, ask yourself, if I were to 10x or even 4x my prices, what would I have to do to justify charging that? Make a list of everything you come up with, write them all down, see which ones you can implement now that are the easiest, the cheapest, the fastest to do. Because the end goal, and what this will do is, at the end of the day, right? People, you want to increase your prices, right? But at the end of the day, you still want to make sure your price is relatively cheap to the value you provide. So you could be charging 10K, well, everybody charges 1K, but if the value you provide is 100K, then that's fine. A good rule of thumb is you want to charge 1/10 of the value you provide. So you want to charge 10% of the value you provide. So if you provide a service that's worth 100K, charge 10K, right? Charge 10% of the value you provide. A good, rule of thumb or a thing we should strive for in business is you want to make your customers say, wow, I can't believe they did this. I can't believe the company I just signed up with did this, and this. You want to be so good. You want to be so incredible that they remember you for life. You want to be so good that they start talking about you at the dinner table. Because I've done a lot of studying, okay, because I like to learn. Okay, I'm a student of life. And one of the biggest things I learned from some of the biggest companies in the world is, think of Amazon, for example, one of my favorite companies in this entire universe. Amazon makes over $1 billion a day. Yes, a billion with a B. That is an unfathomable amount of money to make in a singular day. And when you think about this, how could you possibly sell $1 billion in a day? Could you even have enough employees to sell $1 billion in a day? Well, the answer is no. So you have to make a product that is so good that your customers are willing to sell it for you. That is the true way to scale, is making a product so good that, one, everybody that buys your product never leaves. Okay, that's step one to scale. And two, making a product that is so good that people would want to recommend it to other people because they feel good about doing so. You want to scale your business? Make your product so good nobody will ever leave. Imagine if every customer you've ever signed never left. What would that do for your business? You'd probably be making a lot more money, right? And so the question is not necessarily about how can we acquire more customers, but how can we retain the current customers that we have forever, for life? Because we all know it's a lot cheaper to keep and retain a current customer. We all know that it's easier to sell to a current customer. We all know that a current customer is worth more than a new customer. We all know these things, yet we put so much of an emphasis on sales and marketing and so little on the customer experience, so little on the back end, so little on the results, which is the downfall of most agencies and most people that I talk to nowadays, is simply that. Is they put all their effort in sales and marketing, which granted you should, because if you don't put effort in sales and marketing, you won't have clients to retain. But there comes a point where it's like, oh shoot, putting your efforts on back end, right, on clients is way more valuable than on the front end. And so my last little takeaway, I guess, that I'll give you guys that can hopefully help you retain more customers is try and make your service, and in every way, shape, or form, so incredibly good, okay, so incredibly good that the person feels like if they refer you to one of their friends, they're doing their friends a benefit. They're doing their friends right by referring you. You want to make your product or service so incredibly good, people would want to tell other people about it. That's a true way to scale, right? And this is something not a lot of people talk about because it's definitely hard, but that's what sets these companies apart, right? Look at Amazon. The reason why no one can compete with Amazon is because they are by far the best, which is why Amazon makes $1 billion in a day. So if you want to be cranking out anything, like 0.01% of Amazon numbers, you got to do more for your customers. You got to eat the customer's complexity. Sam Ovens has a really good piece on this if you want to go check it out. But the moral of the story is do more, right? One of the best questions I'd love to ask people when I talk with them and help them out is, hey, if right now I asked you, if right now I went up to your customers and asked you what you're doing for them, what would they answer? What would they tell me? And if their answer is, oh, I don't know, they probably wouldn't know, that's wrong. Another win, another little actionable you could take right away to implement into your business is if I asked you what happens in between the sale taking place, in between when they pay and their first major experience, aka the onboarding, what happens in that period, and you say nothing or not much, that's a big red flag. You should be able to say, oh, well, in between them paying and this, we do this. We also get them this, we give them this call, we give them this check-in, we give them access to this, and then we set this by expectation, send them this Lumen video, and do this call before this happens. So there's 2 little actionables you can take away to hopefully be able to deliver more for your customers. Because at the end of the day, that the person, the business who cares the most about their customer will always win in the end. Always. It's why Amazon is the biggest company in the world. Okay, so I hope that this gave you a bit of insight, gave you a bit of value. Right, my goal with this YouTube channel, my goal with this podcast, if you will, is to share lessons I learn while going through life, building a big business, etc., etc., etc. So, if you found this interesting, drop a comment, drop a subscribe. Catch me in the next one where I share more about cool things I learn as I'm on this path to making $1 million. See you in the next one. Peace.